Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially November 7th, and Donald Trump is still, by far, not even close, the best president in American history. It's good to see all of you in the chat. We're going to start with the leading question of the day. We actually used to do this quite often. We're doing a four-year callback here. The leading question of the day that you want to put in the chat, the comment section, preferably the comment section, because for some ungodly reason, that's the only way that YouTube and Rumble and all these places see that you're actually engaging with the community. What's your favorite Girl Scout cookie? Now, don't ask me why that popped in my head this morning. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. I have a little bit of some Velveeta cookies sitting on my counter right now. You know, the little individually wrapped ones, your little dipperoo inside your coffee. And I was wondering, I said, hey, like, when's Girl Scout cookies coming out again? I kind of want what is it called? A Samoa or a nice little Thin Mint or a little lemon bar. But it got me curious. What do the Patriots love to eat from the Girl Scout cookie stand? Now, they oversell you. They price gouge you, that's for sure. But you never complain, do you? Maybe at the time of sale, but not at the time of eating. Let me know. Now, for me personally, I know you're curious. Now you're asking. Those are the three Thin Mints. I love the good lemon bar one, and then I love a good Samoa. All righty. Well, it is Friday episode, so we do a little bit more loosey goosey stuff here. We have some fun with it. We do a little shenani, ponani, badoo modani. We got to just make sure that everything's up and running because sometimes things don't like to work, and it's very frustrating when you're doing this all by yourself. Manning the keyboard, manning the switch, manning everything, and then it turns out you're not talking to anybody. So that's kind of a Debbie Downer. So let me just make sure that we're up on Rumble. We are good over there. We're going to get everything quickly set up here on YouTube. Make sure everything is clicked appropriately so they have no reason to come after us like they like to do, meaning censor our channel bigly. All righty, we're geared up, ready to go. Well, let's do this because we are entering our 38th day of a shutdown, meaning, this broke YouTube the record before already, but now we have officially entered in a historic time where this has never taken place, man. This is bonkers, folks. This is actually crazy. So we have here Donald Trump and the government are pretty much shut down. And that's a problem for a lot of people because they don't get their paychecks. They don't get their moolah. They don't get their money. And this is really the story here that the mainstream media does not want to cover. So while they're busy, melting down over tone or norms and whatever the TikTok trend is shaping the DNC messaging this week, something extraordinary is happening at the U.S. southern border, which is what we're going to get to a little bit later. But because they don't want to cover this story in the way that it should be, now we're in the longest shutdown in American history. And while the media is busy screaming Republicans, chaos, disaster, you're tone deaf, you don't know what you're talking about, the truth is much simpler. And it has to do with the southern border. The shutdown is happening because Democrats want billions of dollars in taxpayer-funded health care subsidies that will end up going to illegal immigrants. Hence, the problem originated with the border. And Republicans are saying, no. That's the whole story, really. It's not a complicated one. Most things are not complicated. And when you try to make it complicated, usually when you try to make it complicated, it doesn't even make sense. So let's walk through what's happening on the ground. We've reported on this a little bit, but not really what's like the nitty gritty of boots on the ground, what's happening. We've been talking about it from like a bird's eye view, a holistic view. So for the first several weeks, most Americans didn't even feel much. And by the way, if you right now don't work for the federal government and we didn't have the technology we had today and you weren't getting newspapers or nothing, you would have no freaking idea that the government was even closed down. Most of Americans would have no idea. Unless, again, you were a federal employee or someone like visiting Washington, D.C. But things are shifting a little bit here. We're staring at a very real problem because this is happening around the holiday season and the busiest travel time of the year, folks. meaning average Joes like us are going to start feeling it. Because when that present doesn't come on Christmas, your little kid's going to be whining and complaining because they got coal. Give them coal. They don't need anything. They got enough stuff. They live in the most wealthiest country on earth. They got education. There you go. They got free education. I mean, can you imagine when the Christmas gifts don't roll in for all those kids in New York? And then guess what? Their parents get to tell them, don't worry. No, don't worry. All that money that we were going to spend on your gifts, you have free busing now. You should have saw us a few years ago when we got free trash cans. Yeah, that was one of the best holidays ever here in New York City. That's how low that bar is there. Yep. For Christmas time, they get free busing. Wow. Well, in all seriousness, air traffic controllers have been working for over a month without pay, man. And that is brutal for them. Some are calling out sick. Others are working 6-day weeks and double shifts. The FAA says that starting Friday, meaning today, major airports, 40 of them, will have to cut back flights, meaning you're going to have fewer flights, longer delays, potential airport gridlocks happening. The FAA is estimating flight capacity will drop 4% immediately starting today, with reductions potentially growing to 10% in high traffic regions. And that means hundreds of thousands of passengers could be affected. And it will only get worse over time. So if we head into another month of the shutdown, can you imagine, bro, what December is going to look like? Hey, if anything, I mean, some people might actually be saving money here because they aren't forced to buy a lot of gifts on Amazon. And then they're not forced to spend all this money on travel to go see people that they don't probably want to see in the first place. Now, that's not everybody. Hey, I'll be fair. That's not everybody. But some of you get dragged into going to seeing people you don't really want to see. You just want to stay home. So here's the real question. Why is this even happening? Why are Americans now paying the price? Because Democrats are refusing to pass a clean continuing resolution. It's not complicated. And that funding is where it is. The funding is right there. No new add-ons. There's no expansions, no backroom deals that Chuck Schumer keeps trying to do, which I don't know if you're aware of, but he is. Republicans have made this clear. They will not agree to a budget that includes billions in healthcare subsidies that flow to illegal immigrants. It ain't going to happen. So I disagree with Trump. Keep it locked down. I'm down to play ball for however long. I've never put myself in a position where I'm going to rely on government. I shouldn't say never. I'm sure I have. I'm not going to rely on the government for crap. I've always lived my life that way. I don't rely on anybody for anything other than maybe my employer to pay me. That's pretty much it. House Republicans are saying fund the damn government, keep spending where it is, protect the border, do not force taxpayers to fund benefits for illegal immigrants. Democrats' response to all this is no deal unless taxpayer-funded benefits for illegal immigrants are included. So this is not a funding disagreement. This is a moral priority disagreement. And, well, you are a second-class citizen in your own country. Republicans want tax dollars, American tax dollars to be specific, spent on American citizens. Democrats want American tax dollars to be spent on non-citizens. You have both sides of the coin happening here, and people still vote Democrat, by the way. They love it. Oh, absolutely. They love their money going to everybody else other than themselves and their fellow countrymen and women. So that's the fight. Now, what Democrats are doing, remember, we're talking about boots on the ground here. They're meeting behind closed doors, literally having strategy lunches is what they're calling it. Strategy lunches to figure out how to message this disaster in a way that makes you, the taxpayer, believe this is your fault for wanting border security. So you're to blame. And they do this all the time. They will blame everybody other than themselves. During January 6th, when they got caught by not showing you all 40,000 hours of that video footage, they kept showing you the same 6 minutes. They were caught red-handed with those timestamps on all the video footage that they observed, that they blamed it on their staffers when it came to find out that they got caught red-handed. They blamed everybody else, meaning their staffers, their own crew, for that botched job. Meanwhile, the Senate is preparing for another vote on the House-passed continuing resolution. Democrats want to change the end date, attach a 3-bill spending package, so-called minibus, and jam it back down the House's throat. The minibus includes this: agriculture FDA, military construction, veteran affairs, and then legislative branch funding. Now, Republicans are not against funding veterans, by the way, obviously. They're not against keeping Congress operating. They're not against paying workers. What they are against is being bullied, okay? They're being bullied into funding a welfare pipeline for illegal immigrants. To reopen the government, under the Senate plan, Republicans need 60 votes. Believe it or not, a lot of Americans don't know that. Meaning 5 Democrats have to break ranks. I think it's actually a little bit more than 5 now. The question is, will they? Maybe. Have no idea. But let's be clear here. If Democrats block reopening the government tomorrow, it is because they chose illegal immigrants' benefits over American citizens' needs and benefits. That's it. Plain and simple. And Democrats don't care because they're too stupid, a lot of them, to realize what's going on. And let me say something that the media will not say at all. If we cannot stop the flow of taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal immigrants, we will never stop illegal immigration in the first place. Just going to say that right now. And if that happens, what you will see is the implosion of this country. And I've said it time and time again. The border was just a measure. The border, if you even go back to my old videos 4 or 5 years ago, I've always said you just have to stop the bleeding first, and then we could deal with what's going on here second. You got to stop the gushing. You know, you're in triage right now, man. You're trying to just, oh God, it's spraying everywhere. It's bad. It's overflowing. It's all over me. Well, finally, Trump comes in and stops the bleed. But now we got to stop everything else. Democrats don't want to stop that, man. When Democrats get back in office, they're going to open that border right back up because they know those are the votes. So what we're doing here is the Democrats are incentivizing the crisis. Free housing in sanctuary cities, free health care in blue states, welfare payments, cell phones, school enrollment, now federal health care subsidies. Really? This isn't a border failure. This is a government designed magnet. So yes, the shutdown is hard. Yes, the travel delays are real. And yes, people are frustrated. But sometimes in politics, you hit a moment where the line gets drawn. And this is one of those moments, folks. Either America is a sovereign nation with borders, or it's a global welfare state that taxpayers are required to fund. There's no middle ground here. Republicans are holding the line, and they need to keep holding it. Because if we lose this fight, there is a chance in the future we will lose this country over it. And that's a fact, Jack. All righty. If you're enjoying what you're seeing and hearing, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, folks. It's really good to see all of you. But I hate to say it, I was spitting a lot of truth there. And I think that deserves a like. I really, really do. Oh, I believe it. Yes, absolutely. I believe it. Well, we also have Nancy Pelosi here on the screen. I know. Oh, Nancy. That's how she talks. Nancy. Okay. You know, sometimes you get a nostalgia feel after a while. I mean, it's kind of like Joe with him always moseying around the White House. Oh, I need a little girl to sniff. Where is she? That's Joe. Yeah, Joe. He's like a, you know, there's those hounds that you take when you're hunting and they're sniffing the ground. That's like Joe looking for a little girl. Freaking weirdo, Joe. Joe, leave him alone. This is another question for the chat, and I apologize for this one because we just got done talking about something nice, which is Girl Scout cookies to kick off the show. So I apologize for this next one in advance, but it's a question that needs to be answered and studied. On average, how many times a week do you think Nancy loses her dentures? You know, she's running late to a meeting. She can't find them. So she just puts in, like, I don't know, some apple slices. Let me know. We're really bringing the hard-hitting questions here. I mean, this is what the type of questions that the media ask. Why can't I? Oh, all of a sudden, it's because I'm a Republican. I can't ask these types of questions, huh? Well, you ask these types of questions to Joe. Hey, Joe, it's good to see you, big guy. Yeah? I don't know what that smell is, but what's your favorite ice cream? Well, we're in a political era right now that just ended. After decades, and I feel like she's been here since the founding, but after decades in Congress, 2 stints as Speaker of the House, and more backroom political maneuvering than most Americans will ever know about, Nancy Pelosi is finally packing up, man. She announced, I know, everybody get the fireworks ready. Get the barbecues lit because we're going to start partying. Nancy Pelosi announced she is not running for re-election. I knew this day would come. I didn't think it would come so soon. I really didn't. She's like 85. Yeah. I really thought she was going to go till she's 100. I thought she was going to pull a Mitch McConnell. Can't even stand up straight. She starts freezing in front of the camera because he's rebooting. So let's be clear here. This isn't a graceful exit by any means or a quiet retirement. This is strategic. This is timed, and it's about power. Because Pelosi's announcement came immediately after California voters passed Proposition 50, the ballot measure that allows Democrats to redraw congressional districts in California to add up to 5 Democratic seats. So in other words, if that didn't make sense to you, Pelosi waited until the map was secure, that the machine was fortified, and that the Democratic Party guaranteed long-term control. Then she stepped out of the way. Classic operator move, baby. Now, Pelosi has represented San Francisco since before many voters in her district were even alive, were even born. She came into Congress in 1987, folks. Reagan was still president. And she has been one of the most effective political power brokers for the Democratic Party that has ever had. Not effective in the good sense, by the way. Not for the country, but effective for consolidating power, raising money, cutting deals, and punishing enemies. President Trump reacted exactly how Trump reacts, with honesty instead of polite Washington fiction. He said, quote, "I thought she was an evil woman." Damn it, Trump. I tell you what, the guy's bold and I love it. Oh my, that's what I love. She was disgusting. I saw her. Have you seen her dentures? Jesus, Pete. God, like they're gross. Trump, that is hilarious. The brutal honesty from this man is unmatched. I thought she was an evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and a reputation. I thought she was terrible. Jesus. What a blessing. What a blessing he is. A breath of fresh air. Now, he's not wrong. Pelosi oversaw the first impeachment hoax, the second impeachment hoax, the Russia collusion lie, the weaponization of intelligence community, the January 6th political narrative machine. Oh, there's more. Trust me. We just have a show to do. We can't list out all the terrible things she's done. So, and yes, she was the one tearing up Trump's State of the Union speech. Y'all remember that one on live television? Like a petulant teenager. Yeah, that's the real Nancy Pelosi, not the grandmotherly image CNN tries to package for her. Oh, well, everything's going nice. I have so much money. Remember that time when everybody was struggling? She opened up her ice cream drawer and she had like 40 different flavors of ice cream. It was like a $3,000 fridge or something like that, or freezer. Ridiculous. The tone deaf idiot. Remember, this is the lady that is incoherent and somehow is beating out the S&P 500 by like 500 points. The lady that can't even do her makeup correctly is somehow beating out. She's one of the most profitable S&P 500 holders that's ever existed on this planet. It's amazing. Yeah, but no, it's legit. Yeah, it's completely normal. A lady. I'm going to continue. We got more to cover here. Brad, stop it. Brad, settle down. But here's where things get really interesting. In the final years, Pelosi lost control of her own party. And this is the part you want to listen, because it's not just about Proposition 50, folks. It's about this. She was increasingly overshadowed by the radical left. This does connect to Mamdani, man. But it also connects to AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Cori Bush, and the squad wing of the party. She tried to keep them contained, if you remember. She tried to tell them that politics is about slow, calculated moves. But what they wanted was direct revolution. And she lost that fight, you guys. Hakeem Jeffries may hold that title now, but Nancy Pelosi was still the shadow general. She was the one pushing Joe Biden behind the scenes to drop out of the 2024 race. When the donor class wants something done, they went to Pelosi, not Biden, not Schumer, not Kamala Harris. They went to her. And now she's stepping aside, which tells you this moment is much bigger than one retirement. So who takes the seats? The question. Because it's open season, baby. Her San Francisco district is one of the bluest districts in the entire union. Whoever wins the primary wins the seat. And now every ambitious leftist activist in California is about to jump in. You're going to see maybe another Mamdani. That might not be a Muslim person. Might be something else. You are seeing, and I'm going to catch this early, and I've always kept you guys in some cases a couple years ahead of the news cycle. I think you're seeing a massive shift in that party, and I think you're seeing the end of the Democratic Party right now with Nancy Pelosi. And I really do believe that. I'm not being like the alarmist or like an extremist or like, exaggerating something. I firmly really do believe that's what is happening here. You're seeing the end of the Democrat Party in real time. Now, obviously, one person doesn't embody the entire party, but in this case, she kind of does. So who's here in San Francisco that are kind of emerging to fill that void? So you got Scott Wiener, California state senator and progressive activist. AOC's former chief of staff, who's a major figure in the socialist wing. You got Christine Pelosi, Nancy's daughter. Yes, dynasty move on the table. Yeah, multiple San Francisco county supervisors. And lurking behind all of them are big tech donors. So the race is going to be a proxy war between Democratic establishment, socialist activist wing, and the tech oligarch class. All of them suck. So it's not just about replacing Pelosi. This is about who controls the future ideology of the Democrat Party. So if the establishment wins, they maintain this slow, calculated machine. If the socialist wing wins, the Democratic Party goes full open borders, abolition of prisons, federalized elections, welfare seizure, and climate authoritarianism. This is a seat that is on the ideological front line, folks. Pelosi knows that, the donors know that, and the party knows that. Her exit is not retirement, man. It's a transition. It's a succession, and it's a passing of the throne. And we will see who gets that put up on that mantle there. And it ain't gonna be good. Ain't gonna be good at all. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. But she's terrible. She sucks. Trump. I love his brutal honesty, don't you guys? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. We did have a couple donations come in through the website, which I want to give a shout out to. I'm not going to say how much they donated, but thank you, Karen, for your donation through the website. It did come through. And then thank you, Sea-Dog, for your donation as well. I really appreciate that. Both people, I got the email this morning, came through on the website. So God bless you. By the way, we do have some patriots going through some medical situations right now. So make sure you pray for them. I don't want to reveal their names because that's their medical stuff. But I do know that they're kind of going into the hospital today or in the future as well. So make sure that you are praying for everybody's well-being and that they will be A-okay in those operations and medical procedures, let's just say. Okay, well, we here voted for the border. Did we not? Oh, we voted for the border. And we are witnessing a historic turnaround, man. October saw the lowest number of illegal crossings ever recorded. Just 30,000 total, dude. Isn't that an insane number? I mean, it's really big still, don't get me wrong. But 30,000 total for the entire month of October. Now, this should still blow us away, that type of number, to be fair. It should. But based on what we had with Joey, it really is a good number, man. Let me put this in perspective. If just to take a trip down memory lane. Under Joe Biden, we were seeing 10,000 to 12,000 illegal crossings every single day. Every day. Meaning this, for our entire month, was sometimes 2 days worth of Joey. For an entire month. So our month was Joey's 2 days. We'll say 3 to be fair. Let's be nice. We'll be okay. We'll be nice. I'm sorry. Okay, 3 days. That's crazy. So this wasn't mismanagement. That was policy. That was open border ideology in action under the Biden administration. Now President Trump returns. Border Patrol is reporting 100 crossings per day in some sectors. That's not just an improvement, man. That is a collapse of illegal entry volume by more than 99%. It's not a coincidence, man. It's not a seasonal thing like they told us, right? It's not economic. It's not down because of the heat. Remember all those reasons why they said why people are crossing the border? No, it's policy. It's leadership, Democrats. It's called political will that they didn't want to do. Border Patrol Chief Michael Banks said the administration is seeing real success at the border. Border security really happened with just a stroke of a pen after Trump was inaugurated the second time. I mean, think about that for a second, you guys. Years we were told, quote, Congress has to act. We need bipartisan reform. We secure the border without a comprehensive bill. Blah, 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 bunch of poo-poo. No. Turns out all it took was a president who actually wanted to secure the border. That was really it. It's, again, most of this stuff, you guys, is never complicated. It's just really a simple answer. It's never like, well, he wanted to make sure that the border was done this way. And well, if you bring in these people, they're going to fill that void of the infrastructure. And if you look at the climate change of how it's really deviated over the last 15, 20 years going into the southern hemisphere, it's just really not what it used to be, which led to the drought and the participation lack of the rainfall. And that really led to also a famine down there. And now they got their huts drying out of mud and straw because they don't have the rain and the capacity to really pack that together. So it's creating a dust storm, which is getting into the lungs of the people. And that also contributed to why they're coming over here. So they made the trek across the entire southern hemisphere down there in South America to come across the border here so they can have a better life. It's not, see, this is all the bullshit they always spew you. And I'm sorry to cuss, but it is true. There's always these people that overcomplicate things. Most things in life aren't complicated. They really are not. We just try to do it because if you make things complicated, then it rationalizes a behavior that seems acceptable because it's too complicated to understand in the first place. So you're like, hell with it. I'm going to move on and just say you're okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it was because of the weather. Yeah, it was because of drought and famine. Sure it was. Turns out you just seen a president who actually wanted to secure the border. That was it. Banks, again, the chief border patrol, said we are closer than ever to operational control. He said, quote, operational control is going to be when we are apprehending when we can apprehend anything that enters this country and have zero gotaways. Whoa, we are closer than we've ever been, but we are not even close to being done. Translation to that, folks, we're winning, but the job is still active. And that's important because while crossings are down, enforcement is up. We're just not securing the border. We're deporting it. I love that. Now, ICE is also conducting mass deportation raids, not to the extent that I would like them to be doing it, but they are doing it, and Border Patrol is backing them. And here's something the media absolutely refuses to report on. I am not sure why. Oh, wait, of course I know why, because it goes against their narrative. There has been, you guys ready for this number? There has been 1,000% increase in assaults on ICE officers under the Trump administration. They like that. Not because ICE is acting aggressively, by the way, but because the criminals being arrested are now violent repeat offenders. The Daily Wire here on your screen spoke to one of the ICE officers who was recently attacked by an illegal immigrant with multiple convictions, including but not limited to sexually assaulting a child, numerous DUIs, and illegal reentry. Good guy. I just made some mistakes. Just made a little upsies here and there, you guys. We all stumble. Yeah, oh, you think you're better than him because you this or that? By the way, I'm being satirical. I'm being a smartass, as you could tell. Just another Maryland man. Yeah, what you don't see here, you guys, is amidst all that sexual assaulting of a child and those numerous DUIs, almost deleting people on the road, and then also coming in the border illegally, just the things that we know of that we're able to track. Lord only knows what this guy did in the country he fled from. Who knows? It's a Maryland guy. He's a good guy. Yeah, he gives out donuts to the elderly on the weekends. He donates his time. He donates donuts. He's a Maryland guy. Yeah, I'm surprised Democrats aren't going down there and seeing how he's doing, having margaritas with him, having a little taco fiesta. During the arrest, the individual threw a metal coffee cup filled with hot coffee into the officer's face, splitting his lip and causing second-degree burns. This is who sanctuary cities protect, by the way. They don't protect families. They don't protect these dreamers, not even refugees. They protect violent criminal offenders who should have never been in the United States in the first place. So let me be extremely clear here. The border crisis was engineered by the Biden administration, and everybody knows it. The border turnaround has been engineered by the Trump administration, and everybody knows it. It's not luck. It's not some random foo-foo taking place. It's not complicated. When you end catch and release, when you reinstate remain in Mexico, when you shut down asylum fraud, when you resume deportations, when you finish the wall and you punish human smugglers, guess what happens? Illegal immigration drops to near zero. Huh. Who would have thought? Remarkable. Rocket science. If you move this 2 over to the 3 and you count to 4, well, what do you have? A number. When you stop doing those things, the border collapses. Leadership matters, policy matters, and Trump is proving again, time and time again, that a secure border is not an impossible dream, but the Democrats love to alter reality and make it seem like everything's a dream. How did he do that? That's remarkable. Because I was told by Karine Jean-Pierre that is you couldn't do it. Well, check this out. We covered this yesterday, but it's worse than you thought. And I'm talking about this. A teacher at a Chicago daycare center was violently dragged out and then arrested by federal immigration officers, several local, state, and federal officials said. Not only, I've counted at least right now 6 representatives in Congress that are Democrat that are spewing this lie, but also the mainstream media. I'm trying to recall back. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty recent. The last time I saw a lie that was this blatant. I mean, it is ridiculously a blatant lie. We got to open up this article here. I got to see this. I have not clicked on it yet. Let's see what they say here. For context, you guys, this illegal immigrant was being pulled over for a lawful traffic stop, if I remember correctly. She then evaded police, took them on a pursuit. A pursuit. She fled from the police, putting people and community in danger. Then she pulls out in front of, while the pursuit, right? This is the end of the pursuit. She pulls out in front of this daycare, runs inside the daycare to hide from the police. And then the police rush in because there's a suspect around children. Hello? To save and help the children and the establishment from God only knows what. They then bring her out to the entry before they start trying to arrest her. They didn't arrest her in front of children. They didn't arrest her in front of teachers and all this bogus crap that they are pushing and peddling out there. So let's look at this. We haven't broken down an article from the left in a while. A teacher at a Chicago daycare center was violently dragged out and then arrested by federal immigration officers, several local, state, and federal officials said at a press conference. That's the first sentence, dude. What a misleading sack of doo-doo dumpster fire. Representative Mike Quigley said that immigration and custom enforcement agents, they just followed a teacher into a facility on Wednesday morning without a warrant and abducted her. They abducted her in front of her students. Wow. Yo, this is going to piss you off, folks, so buckle up here. I'm going to say this again because a lot of people keep joining. This lady fled from police. She took them on a freaking high-speed chase pursuit and then ran into a freaking daycare. A criminal ran into a daycare and the police don't know if she has a weapon on them. She can start holding kids hostage. In a video showing the arrest, which we showed yesterday, at Rayito del Sol Spanish language immersion daycare, a woman can be heard telling agents in Spanish that she has papers. Okay, well, you could show them after they detain you, after you led them on a pursuit, after you evaded them, after when you could have just pulled over and you could have shown them their papers on a traffic stop, but you didn't want to do that. Quigley later told reporters that the detained teacher had a work permit. No parent should ever have to explain to their child why their teacher was dragged away by armed officers. And no teacher should fear that showing up to work to care for and educate kids could result in their arrest. Well, the Department of Homeland Security on Wednesday named the detained woman as Diana Patricia Santalina Galeno. If that doesn't deserve a like button at 6 a.m. in the morning, I don't know what does. I just nailed that one. You're welcome. Y'all, you talking crap that Brad can't read every now and then. Turns out I can, huh? Turns out Bradley can. Turns out I can read. All right, what we got here? I apologize. Simmer down, Brad. Brad, settle down. Okay? They're your friends, Brad. They love you. Okay. People are like, dude, this guy's crazy. What the hell's going on? They don't know my personality yet. They don't know me yet. DHS said in a press release that her work authorization does not confer any type of legal status to be in the United States. It just gets worse for this lady. She just hands them the receipt to her, like her bill that she just had at like Taco Bell. Yeah, I got my papers. Like, lady, this is a freaking receipt for a gordita crunch. Like, what the hell are you talking about? This idiot Quigley. This idiot Quigley. She had papers. She's a teacher. They dragged her out. Turns out it wasn't even thinking about legal status whatsoever. It was a napkin. Oh, God, I miss going through these. I know I said this already. You guys, we used to do this all the time. We would go through The Guardian, The Atlantic, and we would go through opinion pieces and just read the crazy crap that these media outlets spew to their base all the time, and people just eat it up. They love eating caca. You have to understand, there are millions of people that read this that just like, oh, it's so good. Because they're idiots. They're idiots. The action by federal immigration agents on Wednesday coincided with a hearing in which a federal judge heard arguments about the use of force by immigration agents in the Chicago area. By the way, how far we're down here. They still haven't mentioned the fact that she evaded police and went on a freaking pursuit and went inside a freaking daycare. I'm waiting for them to say it. How far do you think we have to go down here before they actually mention that? Following the hearing, U.S. District Judge Sarah Ellis extended restrictions she had previously placed on federal immigration agents using the use of force during immigration arrests and protests in the Chicago area. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. During the hearing on Thursday, she largely sided with attorneys representing journalists and demonstrators who say they've been harmed by ICE and CBP personnel during lawful protests. Well, that's probably because you have a bunch of other idiots that are going and harassing ICE and CBP, and you're amidst the crowd, and well, you might get, a little bit of pepper spray, mace in your eyes, all that other stuff. Quote, I don't find defendants' version of events credible, Judge Ellis said, adding that CBP and ICE conduct showing no signs of stopping. It's difficult to see how an injunction requiring the government to follow Constitution could possibly be harmful. I'm still waiting for the part that she said that they evaded the police. Still waiting. In response to the judge's ruling, DHS said in a statement, this injunction is an extreme act by an activist judge that risks the lives and livelihoods of law enforcement officers. Rioting, gangbangers, and terrorists have opened fire on federal law enforcement officers, thrown rocks, bottles, and fireworks at them, slashed their tires of their vehicles, rammed them, ambushed them, and they've destroyed multiple enforcement vehicles. Despite these real damages, our law enforcement shows incredible restraint in exhausting all options before force is escalated. DHS law enforcement will continue to enforce the laws of our nation, just as they do every day across the country. We shall appeal. What's funny is that New York just voted, I know this is Chicago, but New York just voted for a socialist, borderline communist as mayor of their city. Mind you, that if you were to do any of these things that they just listed to law enforcement in a socialist, almost borderline communist country, you would never be found. Your body would cease to exist. You'd be 6 feet in the ground and nobody would know where you went. They wouldn't be able to find you. Mommy and daddy would be looking for you, but you're gone, baby. Oh, you're gone. And they love that stuff. Democrats love the violence. Regarding the incident at the daycare, so now we're back to that. They threw in a bunch of other stupid shit that had nothing to do with this. Regarding the incident at the daycare, Representative Delia Marias. So now we have another congressperson. This makes dos, too, working on my Spanish. Said on Wednesday that she rushed over to the daycare as soon as she heard about the incident and spoke to the teachers, including one of them who's pregnant. A teacher also had to hide with a child during the incident. Could it be because you had a rando come into the store and that was evading police. It's probably a good reason to protect the children.
And
what the hell is
I
this?
voted and answered the
Jesus,
question.
lady! I thought I was hearing Jesus. Did you guys think the same thing? Like, fucking, is it happening? Oh, God! All right, come back. Freaky deaky, dude. You can't be doing stuff like that. The hell? Where were we? I'm all scared. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this idiot right here. Yeah, I was looking for Democrat. Democrat means idiot. Idiot means Democrat. On Wednesday, she rushed over to the daycare. I'm keeping you on your toes. On Wednesday, she rushed over to the daycare as soon as she heard about the incident, okay? Quote, this is the force called Department of... I told you that thing messed me up, dude. I can hear that old lady. I'm like, Jesus, what? This is 7.1 surround sound, man. I don't know where it's coming from. It could be coming from my own damn head for all I know. Or it could be coming from under my desk. Jesus. Everybody settle down. We're going to be okay. Yes, we are. Calm down. Everything's fine. Brad has it under control. Patriots, we need a reset here, okay? Everybody simmer down. I got you. Shh. It's okay. You guys okay too? Is anybody going to pet me? All right. So many people just left from YouTube. What the fuck is this guy all about? All right. This is force called Department of Homeland Security under Secretary Kristi Noem, an agency of terror. Those idiots. What happened today is despicable. It's unconscionable. It's unacceptable. Not the person that evaded police, not the person that took them on a pursuit, not the person that didn't pull over for a lawful traffic stop, not the person that then took them on a foot chase into a daycare. No, that person isn't a person of terror. That's not a despicable act by a person, or unconscionable, or unacceptable. Nah, it's the ICE enforcement. It's DHS that went in there to try to help community members. Well, DHS, oh, now we're getting to it. How far down are we? Look how far we have to go on who this person is. Look at this. I'm just going to take you down how far we have to go on what DHS actually said about this woman. Not that you would start with that, would you? Oh, lady, illegal immigrant that took DHS on a foot pursuit into a place, blah, blah, blah. Look how far we have to scroll down for this. Here we go. Here we go. Finally, they get to it. I'm going to count the paragraphs after this. The DHS also accused her of paying for smugglers to bring her 17-year-old and 16-year-old children into the U.S. via the southern border, adding that facilitating human smuggling is a crime. Well, because it is. DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said ICE did not target the daycare and were instead conducting a targeted traffic stop of an undocumented woman from Colombia. Quote, officers attempted to pull over this vehicle, listen to this, which was registered to a female illegal alien with sirens and emergency lights, but the male driver refused to pull the vehicle over, she said in a statement. Law enforcement pursued the vehicle before the assailant sped into a shopping plaza where he and the female passenger fled the vehicle. They ran into a daycare and attempted to barricade themselves inside the daycare, recklessly endangering the children inside. But they're the problem. DHS is the problem for keeping your community safe. She added, the illegal alien female was arrested inside a vestibule, not in the school, upon arrest. She lied about her identity. The vehicle is registered in her name, though she claims that she didn't know the man who was driving her car and just picked him up from a bus stop. Facts, including criminality and information on the male assailant, are forthcoming, and we will update the public with more information as soon as it becomes available. You had to literally go to the end of the freaking article to find out what this lady did. But she pushed back. Ramirez pushed back on McLaughlin's claims. They didn't just walk in chasing one person. They went into multiple rooms asking and looking for teachers while children were present, the Congresswoman said. This is an agency that has gone rogue, and it's an agency that believes that as long as they cover their face, they can get away with anything. They're calling it domestic terrorism. Isn't these articles wild? Should we cover more of these? That was kind of fun. These idiots. It's a violation of our rights. It's a violation of these children's rights. It's a violation of these teachers' rights, who have a right to work in this country and care for our most vulnerable kids. What they are doing is terrorizing our communities. They're terrorizing our culture. And these children have pride in their culture. Not American culture, but their culture. Do you see how stupid? I'm a cuss right now and I apologize. So if you want to tune me down for a second, do you see how stupid this shit is? There's so many articles like this spewing a bunch of nonsense. So let's go to the comments here. Let's see what people are saying. Oh, gee, they're being called out for their lie. Oh, good. This is an illegal alien that ICE detained. Are these the illegal aliens you want near your children? Oh, yes, yeah. Sir, Alex, I understand what you're saying, brother. Oh, yes, I do. Absolutely, they want these people around their children. Are you kidding me? Alex, you may not be aware of this. Maybe you are, sir. And I'm not beating you up. I appreciate you writing a comment here, calling them out on their bullcrap. There's superintendents in this country that are illegal aliens, my friend. Yes. Do better, ABC. They'll never do better, man. Fact check false, correct. Get off my screen, rapid. Thank you. Neither your age nor your gender will save you from deportation if you are in my country illegally. What is this? To train them is my call. Oh yeah, that's what DHS did. Yeah, that's a little tone deaf. I'll admit that's a little rough. I think it's funny because I like dark humor, but it's a little tone deaf. She was fleeing authorities and ran into a daycare after a vehicle pursuit. Yeah, but they don't care. Democrats don't care. As long as they get the narrative out now through their media outlets, and as you could see, I mean, I can't remember. Maybe somebody can correct me in the chat again. What was like the last blatant lie that you've seen that was something like this? I can't remember. I know it had to be recent, but I don't know what was on par with this one. Maybe the whipping of the migrants. You remember that with the horse reins? They were saying that they were whipping migrants, but it's just the reins of the horse because these people are idiots. That would be at least one that popped in my head. I don't know. Pretty crazy stuff, man. Pretty crazy. Well, let's see if we can do a little palate cleanser here. I've done a lot of talking today. Normally see a lot of videos. I'm trying to see if you guys want more articles like that. You saying shit is better than Jesus' name, just saying. Yeah. You gotta do that to me, Michelle. Yeah, Brad, it's pretty good. You're going to hell, brother. Fine, say shit all you want, but you're done. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if we got a nice little palate cleanser. We don't. The Maryland man was a huge BS lie. There you go. There's a good one. That one's even sooner. Alcatraz. Says here that ICE was deporting kids and it happened to be a father and son playing cops and robbers. You guys are good. You guys know a lot of this stuff. I love that. Well, we saw the video yesterday. We don't need to see it again. Oh, here we go. Okay. So hundreds of Chicagoans flooded the streets after ICE agents stormed a daycare. So it doesn't matter whether the story was true or false. It's true in these people's opinions because they saw it on the news and they didn't read far enough down there and do their research. And the media knows this. The Democrat Party knows this. As long as you get the lie out there, regardless of whether it's corrected later, it goes over millions of people's heads because they're too stupid and they just believe it. There's people that still think that Donald Trump just said that there was good people on both sides. That's where they stop. They don't actually go and read the full transcript and see and view the full clip. There are millions of Democrats and leftists out there that still believe that quote. Like, that wasn't the full quote, but it's crazy, man. People are, I know I'm repeating this because I used to believe in people a lot more. The more and more I have to see this stuff, I just realize more and more there is no hope for a lot of people. And I got to stop hoping that they're going to wake up one day and just get some sort of IQ leap. It ain't going to happen. These people are stupid. And I know I'm talking about my fellow countrymen and women, which is sad, but the data backs it up. IQ is actually lowering for both sides, by the way. There's a lot of stupid Republicans too.
Hands off Chicago! Hands off Chicago!
A large crowd formed this evening in Chicago's North Center neighborhood over an immigration raid at a daycare.
There's a lot of white suburban women there. Do you notice that? That is a lot of white suburban women. Look at them bringing their kids out. That's a good place for kids to be at night, not doing homework, not learning how to read or do math or arithmetic or anything of that sort. No, this is a good place for them to be a bunch of chanting psychos. That makes sense. Another kid here. Another kid here. Oh, this is good.
We had masked ICE agents following a daycare educator into the daycare.
Just following.
Where there were parents.
Just following, not on a pursuit. Yeah. They randomly stumbled upon daycare. Hey, you sucker, you coming with me?
There were children.
People being dragged out of their workplace. This is not political. It is not right. We will not stand for it. No ICE, no ICE, no ICE.
Hundreds of people were there protesting the federal agents' actions and the Trump administration's immigration crackdown.
This is the Trump administration going after the worst of the worst. A daycare teacher taken away.
This video shows the teacher being taken out of Vito del Sol daycare this morning near Addison and Western.
But people are too stupid to ask questions of, why is this car parked here in front of the door? That's not a parking spot. Why is the door left open? Why is she being handcuffed like that? What's going on? You know, doing more like, what happened before this video footage started? All those things that are logical, it does not click in people's brains on the Democrat side of the aisle because they're stupid. Not everybody. Not everybody. Because I'm stupid too. Look, stupid is as stupid does. Stupid is stupid says. I'm not any different. I'm just saying that if I'm able to call out that somebody's that stupid, I'm just not as stupid as they are, but I'm stupid.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, the woman who was arrested has been in the country illegally since 2023.
Oh, gotcha.
The agency says federal agents attempted to stop her vehicle this morning, but she refused to pull over and ran into the daycare.
Yep.
Witnesses say the agents went inside of the building and dragged her out.
Gotcha.
She's telling them, I have papers. I have documentation.
And she didn't. She didn't. She also told them that she didn't know the guy in the car with her that was driving. She just picked him up at a bus stop. Had no idea. Ladies, by the way, we have a lot of women that watch this show. It is a abnormal amount of women, just so you know, for demographics in terms of tuning into a Democrat or a podcast. Excuse me, a Republican podcast, conservative to be more specific. Ladies, how many of you have ever picked up a random dude from a bus stop? Just let me know. You can put 1, 2 times. 5 times. It's common enough for this to appear on the news. It's common enough. Never, maybe? Never? Let me know in the chat. Again, if you're a lady, now's the time to speak up because hashtag me too. Women's lives matter. Just curious. This must be a big old thing because this is it's normal for all these other people. No, this is a great idea. Bring a child out here to watch an apprehension and be traumatized. But don't worry. This is the people running your daycare. Oh yeah, let's bring the kid out there. Hey, you want to watch this? This is cool.
Families who saw the ordeal call the situation traumatizing. Many of those families took to the podium this evening to voice their frustrations.
Imagine taking your child to a daycare where they are now at risk of their teachers leaving them in the class because they have been detained for being brown, for speaking Spanish.
I am so disgusted to call my family in other areas of the country and hear the narrative being shared that they are not targeting schools.
This is evil, dude. You have to understand, this is not a normal behavior. This is called evil when you're actively lying to a bunch of people. And you know you're lying.
That they are not targeting children. We know that's a lie.
I have never seen a clip. I've never even heard of a child being arrested, by the way, by ICE. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. By the way, if they keep saying all this stuff, right? They keep saying all of it. And that it's happening. It's so rampant with all these leftists out there with their cell phones. Why is it not on tape? I've seen all these other people being arrested by ICE out there in front of Home Depot. If it's so rampant, if it's happening so often, where's the proof? Where's all the videos? I'm told it's happened every day. They're going into school systems. I work in the education system. I know people from sea to shining sea. I know teachers in New York City. I know teachers in Washington, D.C. These are leftist areas where ICE is going into. Chicago. I have never heard of a single teacher that knows other teachers, and I follow teachers' podcasts on TikTok. I listen to other teachers. Not a single one. And I mean that in all little sense because I've been looking for it. Oh boy, have I been looking for it. It doesn't exist. They have not come into the schools looking for children and apprehending them and their teachers. It doesn't exist. The superintendent of a school was apprehended, and I don't even know if that was at the school. And even if it was, ICE has every right to do it. Not to mention, they have every right to go in, even for an I-9 form and stuff like that. They have every right to do it. They ain't doing it to kids.
We've learned the teacher is originally from Colombia and reportedly has a work permit. As for the
Hold on a second, what'd she say?
From Colombia and reportedly has a work permit.
No, she didn't confirm it though. But if it's the narrative, you don't have to confirm it. It just reportedly has a work permit. We didn't actually see it or verify to see if that's legitimate or not. But we're going to believe that the person who evaded police on a routine traffic stop because the license plate registered to an illegal immigrant alien who's not supposed to be here, took them in a high-speed pursuit, got out of the vehicle in front of a daycare and fled police. We don't know who these people are, by the way. They're being pulled over because they're illegal. Hence, we don't know who they are. They could be murderers. They could be terrorists. They could be rapists for all we know. We don't. So they went in to go save those children because, holy crap, they're going into a daycare. And rather than asking questions, she's going to believe the criminal, not the actual law enforcement. If you only knew how common that is nowadays in our culture, everybody knows I'm a teacher. Okay. I love helping my students succeed. I don't talk about politics in the classroom. Never want to, never will. You will have kids that will full-fledged you've caught cheating. And your own boss will not back you up in some of these schools. They will believe the kid that was cheating, that is known on his record to have multiple priors of classroom disruption, detentions, Saturday schools, been in fights. I'm as serious as a heart attack, man. They will believe that kid over you as an employee. The parents will believe their kid that's been to like juvie over you as the employee. Please understand, I can't be any more serious than that for you. It's the same thing here. They will believe criminals over law enforcement. Now, is law enforcement always right? No. But this is a real thing, man. And I've worked in multiple schools where that is a thing. That ain't just some little anecdote. That is like 6 school districts I've worked in. Not 6 schools, there's 6 schools.
As for the daycare, it did say it will close until Monday in light of today's events. Reporting live in North Center, Emmy Victor, WGN News.
We got to close it for solidarity because a criminal ran into our place of business and that cops were trying to make sure that nobody was harmed. Oh, the stupidity is deep. And hopefully so is your pocket, because if you head over to baldbrad.com, you can make a donation today. You can make a donation to my show and my channel, which is really appreciated. Please. Ting, ting, ting. I don't have any, there's nothing left in here, but ting, 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 ting. I'm that guy outside of the, the grocery store. Can you help us? Yeah, ting, make a donation. Ting, 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 ting. That's me right now. Would love for you to make a donation. Again, C-Dog made a donation through the website yesterday. Thank you, C-Dog. I saw you in the chat. You thought we were muted, but we weren't. Call you out. Huh. And Carrie made a donation through here. And so does Jerry. A bunch of other people make donations through the website. I just, again, don't know if they want. The reason I said Karen, she sent me an email. She's wondering if it went through. It went through. Thank you very much. You're very generous, Karen. Very generous. Thank you to everybody else that is a member over at YouTube and also Rumble. Shout out to you guys for keeping this thing afloat, keeping the lights on here for us. They flicker every now and then, but it works. It works. We do this each and every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Mondays through Fridays. As you can see, I am an author. We have a book called Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. That is me right there, this knucklehead that you are watching on your screen. Would love for you to pick up a book if you head to baldbrad.com. Again, that's baldbrad.com. You get yourself a copy of that. And the holiday seasons, you got to get it now because you don't know if it's going to be delivered in time based on how this shutdown's going. So you got to get that copy today. Got to get it right now and make sure that you get the facts for those people. I know I was joking, C-Dog. I'm just giving you something. I'm giving you a little bit of a problem. I don't know what word I was going to use there. It's morning. Oh, wow. Who is that? Is that Bruce again? Bruce, what the hell do you do for a living? Bruce with the $50 freaking dollars, man. And by the way, Bruce doesn't just donate to our show. Bruce caught me in ABL's podcast the other day. So shout out to Bruce. That was cool, man. Bruce saw me in the chat. He's like, hey, Brad. He's like, hey. And I was like, hey, Bruce. We said hi to each other. It was awesome. $50 freaking dollars. The guy donated $150 plus some memberships this week. That's crazy, man. I got to find out what you do for work because I got to do that as well. I'm scraping by here. Eating beans and rice, Bruce. I'm only having salt. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's crazy, dude. Thank you. Again, just so you're aware, that doesn't go into my pocket. That goes back into the show. So we don't, any of your donations, because I make money through advertisements and stuff on the show. I've always been clear on this. Any donation money goes back into the show. It doesn't go to like, say if I got a payout from Rumble, I can do whatever I want with that money because it's just from Rumble. But there's also people that donate like specific money that doesn't go to like me going out to get like, I don't know, buy anything, but like Starbucks or something or go out to dinner. I don't do that with your money unless you specify. Some people do say, hey, here's $5 for coffee. Danielle, for example, does $20 for headphones. Pat did $10 yesterday or the day before for headphones as well. That stuff gets kind of tracked and then we buy headphones. I have enough money for headphones. I just have to do it. Okay. Settle down. Thank you so much for all the love and care. Again, shout out to Bruce. Shout out to everybody else that donated. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else because I've been doing a lot of stuff here. Donation. Didn't miss anybody. Okay. Well, holy crap. Talking for over an hour. You guys feel bad for me? Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Look out for Spooky Adventures. We're going to try to post more content this weekend if we have time and if we can. And we'll be back here Monday. Hopefully the government gets reopened here. I doubt it, but we'll cover it if it does. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Read your scriptures, folks. Read your Bible, even if it's a sentence. Just pray before, after the show's done, just really quick, just do a quick prayer. You know what I mean? Just get quiet. And I'm saying like a sentence or two if you're not used to praying. And just see if it makes your day better. And just put a smile on your face like the, put a smile on your face and just have a good day. Just have a nice day, you guys. Really. And I hope some of you that are down in the dumps right now, this podcast made your day a little bit better. Love ya. Bye, you guys. Take care.